president sat there looking bored, and then he left and he said that the service was in fact boring. And the more he thought about it, the angrier he got and began to demand an apology from Bishop Budde for having the audacity to ask him to have mercy on people in this land. And then 21 members of the House introduced a resolution condemning Bishop Budde for asking the president to have mercy. By the way, I feel like this is just an important thing to say. Me talking about this, not a violation of the separation of church and state. I can say whatever I want about the actions of the administration. That is my duty as a Christian pastor. However, the President of the United States and members of the House of Representatives condemning a religious person for saying that someone ought to have mercy is a clear violation of the separation of church and state, because that violates the First Amendment on two different counts: freedom of speech and the free exercise of religion. That's what the separation of church and state is about. It's about ensuring that the government does not interfere with the way that we worship. And we saw that happen this week.
Let me make one final plea, Mr. President. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. Our God teaches us that we are to be merciful to the stranger, for we were all once strangers in this land.
Not too exciting, was it? I didn't think it was a good service, no. Thank you very much.
We did get that nasty gram from the president in the middle of the night, in which he did insult you and demand an apology. Yeah. And I know I've seen remarks that you made today that you've received a lot of not just invective but threats, including death threats, over the course of today since that happened. And I would just ask if you wanted to respond either to the president or to the people who have wished you ill in response to this.
Well, I've had people wish me dead. I'm not sure they've threatened to kill me, but they seem to be pleased if I met my eternal destiny sooner rather than later. And I would simply say I was trying actually to encourage a different kind of conversation, that you can certainly disagree with me, you can disagree what I've said or did, but could we as Americans and fellow children of God speak to one another with respect? I would offer the same to you. I would listen to your views and I would honor them, but we don't have to go to the highest extremes of contempt when we are in a position of disagreement. And I think if we could get that back as a country, we would go a long way in being able to work together to address the many problems that we face.